Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Firefighter and EMT Nicholas Askew saw the person that he was helping had only finished cutting half of the grass, so he stepped in to finish the rest. This video has been viewed more than 18,000 times on social media. In it is Chesapeake firefighter and paramedic Nicholas Askew. Askew tells me his station, Station 4, was called out to the home for a medical emergency last week.
We provided some care on the scene and tried to stabilize the patient before we package him up and then transport him to the hospital.
But Askew didn't pack up and leave.
There was a lawnmower right next to us while we were working, and the grass was half cut.
So he decided to grab the lawnmower and finish the job himself.
I was kind of an extra person on scene and saw the opportunity and had the time to help the resident and make sure that it was not something that they had to worry about after the fact.
He says he had no idea the neighbor had started recording, but says it was just what he and the rest of the crew at Station 4 like to do, lend a hand when they can.
Myself and everybody else in the department, I think there's an inherent desire to want to help, and that's why we joined the profession. While I was doing that, the crew at this station was actually next door, cutting the grass of the elderly family that lives there.
The family who lives at the home tells me they were very grateful for his gracious act.
These officers out here really bringing a new meaning to their duty to serve and protect. Police officers taking over this Miami Winn-Dixie store, but they're not here to patrol the toilet paper aisle. They're grocery shopping for Miami senior centers.
It's important for them to understand that the police department is there for them all the time, but especially now in this time of need.
It started with an early morning meetup in the parking lot before the store opened, with seniors at a particularly high risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. The officers taking extra health and safety precautions.
We're utilizing the times that the stores have allotted for seniors to shop, so therefore there's a lot less individuals in the stores. The officers that are going to be shopping for them are using a lot of precaution, a lot of distancing.
Stocking up on fresh produce and paper towels, doing it all without expecting a thank you.
And there is no contact with the seniors. Once we purchase the items that we will be getting, we're taking them back to the senior centers.
From fighting crime to feeding the vulnerable.
It really makes us feel great knowing that we can provide this type of service. And yes, our bread and butter is to serve and protect, and now we're putting an exclamation point on the service part.
So it was sort of just a aha moment. As we saw the smoke and the fire advancing and noticed the flagpole with the flag still up. Being public servants, there is an aspect of civic duty, civic pride. So part of that is, of course, how we treat the flag.
5 police responding to a simple disturbance call found themselves dealing with 5 hungry little kids inside a hotel room surrounded by filth. Channel 2's Ross Cavett is live in Marietta with what investigators say was going on in the room while the family of 7 stayed there. Ross.
It shows you police never really know what they're going to encounter when they get called to a scene. This was a simple disturbance call at the extended stay hotel behind me when police found themselves dealing with a family of 7, including 5 young kids, obviously scared to death.
To see a family just ripped apart, it was horrible.
Aisha McGowan says the early morning commotion in the hotel's hallway woke her up. She found police lining the hall, her 2 neighbors in handcuffs, and 5 young children lined up.
To hear kids screaming like that, I still have them screaming in my ear. That was horrible.
Police had come out to check a prior disturbance call at room 414. The arrest warrant says when the door to the small room opened, police found it in complete disarray inside. Trash and old food piled on the floor so high it fell into the hallway, suspected marijuana and syringes scattered about. The children had little to eat. It affected officers so much the department posted a picture on its Facebook page of an officer comforting one of the small children, saying the pair bonded instantly. The parents, Sanchez Lampkin and Tiffany Mathis, were arrested on multiple charges, including deprivation of a minor. Lampkin, the warrant says, admitted to selling crack out of the room, not surprising to neighbors.
The dad's always in the hallway with a bunch of guys. You know, I just walk by, mind my business, and just go in my room. But when that happened, it was like, oh, you know, time to go.
Well, DFAC's investigators were called to the scene. They originally took the 5 kids into custody, but talked to a family member out here earlier today who said they either have moved or are in the process of moving those kids to other family members. They're trying to get the parents out of jail as well, but as for the father, Lumpkin, he probably won't be going anywhere. Arrest records show he has an outstanding warrant out of Muskogee County. We're live.
Open the door!
Police burst into a hotel room where they find the suspect accused of kidnapping an 8-year-old girl.
Hands! Let me see your hands! Step out here! Step out!
Officers rush inside.
Get on the ground!
It's a race against the clock to find the child, who was caught on a doorbell camera being snatched from her mother's arms.
Help me! Help me, please!
Mom and her daughter were on a stroll in their Fort Worth, Texas neighborhood when the nightmare began. Mom, who asked not to be named, tried desperately to fight off the kidnapper, but he sped away with the little girl inside the car.
Oh my God, help me, please!
8 hours later, police in nearby Forest Hills found the getaway vehicle in a hotel parking lot. Officers left after seeing no sign of the child. But cops from the Fort Worth Police Department went to the same hotel and did some more digging with the front desk hotel clerk.
Do you have the room information for room 333? I need like the person's name, when they checked in, all that stuff.
They think they found their guy.
Matches the description.
Then they rush to room 333 and barge in.
Get on the ground!
The suspect is placed in handcuffs. Cops desperately search the room.
Hey, here she is! Got her! We got her! We got her!
The little girl popped her head out of this laundry basket where she had been hidden under a pile of clothes. She was afraid to make any noises because the suspect had threatened to hurt her and her family.
We have her.
We need an EMT!
Come on, sweetheart.
You safe?
You're gonna be okay.
51-year-old Michael Webb has just been sentenced to life in prison for kidnapping.
Hey, here she is! Got her! We got
Well, we begin this half hour with the story of a rookie police officer in California saving the life of a 12-year-old girl. She was clinging to a bridge in Pasadena Tuesday night when the officer arrived. The child was described by police as sobbing and desperate and ready to jump. Carter Evans has the story.
The nameless, faceless girl sitting on the curb in this police photo narrowly missed becoming a suicide statistic because of this rookie police officer on routine patrol.
Possible jumper on the York Bridge, if you can notify Pasadena.
By the time that call went out, Officer Chris Perez, who'd been on the South Pasadena police force for about a year, was already there. A girl, just 12 years old, was on a 6-inch ledge, ready to jump.
Yeah, she was right about here, on the other side of the ledge, holding on to the bottom portion of the railing.
One misstep, and she could fall some 80 feet to her death.
You didn't just rush up to her. Tell me what you did.
Walked up to her calmly. I literally didn't even start talking to her until I made it to the sidewalk and just asked her what was happening, what was going on.
Did she tell you why she was sitting there?
She told me that she was upset at a group home that she was living at, and that's why she ran away. She was telling me that they treated her poorly and badly and would lock her in a room every time she was bad.
You know the whole time that if you say the wrong thing, she might just let go.
Yeah, definitely.
It took time, patience, and trust.
It was just back and forth banter with me and her. Can I come closer to you? Can I talk to you closer? Can I pull you over the ledge so that we could talk in a safer environment? It was that back-to-back conversation with me and her that I felt was going so smoothly that I felt comfortable enough to actually lean over and get her.
The girl did allow him to rescue her.
I grabbed hold of her arm, wrapped it around my neck, then grabbed her body and just bear hugged her and dragged her over.
Good, code 4, I got her off the bridge.
Did she seem happy that you did that?
She didn't seem happy, but she was sad and just started breaking down even more.
By the time paramedics arrived, Officer Perez's job was done, but not forgotten.
What goes through your mind when you look at that bridge now?
Fear.
She told him she only had an aunt, no other family. She wanted to live with her. For now, the 12-year-old is in protective custody, waiting for CBS.
South Adams County, Colorado firefighters shared some heartwarming photos, along with this message explaining sometimes snowy days are not always about clearing out accidents and dealing with broken water pipes. Sometimes we get called to simply help a citizen get home through the snow. Residents were dealing with 5 inches of snow that fell on Sunday morning. You can see them getting help there. The fire department also posted these pictures on their Facebook last week, preparing for the worst case scenarios with ice rescue training. Residents were allowed to watch the training at Reunion Pond, but had to stay off the ice. We would not want the rescue training to turn into the real deal. Matt Uris covering Colorado First.
When that call came in, house fire with children trapped inside, the firefighters know that it's game time.
The house was on fire and there were possible 4 children trapped inside the structure. We instantly go into overdrive. We noticed a police officer walking down the street, and as I turned, I counted 4 children. Okay, the kids are all out. Now we have a structure fire that we need to deal with.
There was also an infant that was inside the house that no one on the scene knew about.
One of the parents screamed, "There's a baby inside. There's a baby inside." Clipped in my mask and ran in the house and then went to the right. When I found that first bedroom, I wasn't sure if this was the bedroom that the child was in or not. At that point, getting frustrated because I knew there was a child inside and I knew, sorry, I have all kinds of gear and stuff to protect me, and I know that the baby doesn't. And I remember when I went in, I could see the silhouette of a window. Ended up sticking my hand on the curtains and I just ripped them down. And at that point, it was like a spotlight was shined on the baby. And he took a breath, so then that was relieving that he actually was still alive. Oh, okay, we're good, you know, picked them up, and that's when like I said, I just turned around and ran as fast as I could.
For us, that was above and beyond, and that child's still alive today because of firefighter Maddox and his quick actions and quick thinking.
That's what's probably the most difficult part of this job, is any incident that involves children, especially if you are a parent, at least for me personally. I always see my kids. This incident has been with me for a long time, probably will be for a long time.